You are listening to Food for Worms, the original true grime podcast.
Food for worms.
You'll see a dog and you're thinking like, this dog is unattended. Oh God, oh God, oh God. You see a cat, that feeling gets cut in half because sometimes cats are just out. I've never met an outside dog in an inner city. That's what, but
that's because I don't think that's a stray dog. Like
I know.
No, I let my dog off leash just roam.
Yeah.
He comes back though.
Yeah. Hey, but then you see a chicken. You see a chicken walking around. You're just kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah, which
Like-
is why I went to try to wrangle said chicken, and I learned that this chicken is very well acclimated to inner city life.
Hell yeah.
And goes about, and
Like,
it was
it has
just
friends?
7 p.m. This chicken's across my parking lot,
Yeah.
across the alley on top of a recycling bin, just cock-a-doodle-doing.
I mean, the jokes have to come from somewhere, right? Like you see
Yeah.
a chicken across the road, and
Yeah,
this is
so-
exactly where that shit comes from. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is the chicken doing across?
So
Why is he crossing the road? Why is he coming over here?
Yeah,
And
like,
then
what
you got to
the
make
fuck?
up some shit so that the story's exciting.
So me and
Yeah.
Ammo's, of course, instinct is like, okay, the chicken's isolated and like sitting down on this thing. We're gonna go try to pet it now. And we did. We literally just walked up to this chicken. Renegade's a badass.
Hell yeah.
And now
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we just made a friend with a chicken. That's
I feel like since you
roams
named
our
it
neighborhood.
Renegade, since you named the chicken Renegade, it's basically like the chicken version of the main character from Roadhouse. Renegade. I know that's not his name. Like it's something that has a lot more syllables than you'd expect, but it just is what it is. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome back to Food for Worms. I am Darian. Hi.
And I am Sam. First off, D, I want to show you my talent. I've been practicing this for this week, and then we will intro our guest.
I hope so. Fuck.
But okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Food for worms. That was me throat singing. I've been practicing throat singing.
Well done.
Fucking rad.
You're welcome.
Good shit. That is tight.
That was
Hey,
me.
no,
that
but
was me.
for real, are you really getting into throat singing? Because I fully support that. That sounds like fun.
I mean, I don't know if I'm getting into it, but I've like I used to kind of do that whole thing when I'd like dabble on a didgeridoo or whatever. I was never a big didgeridoo player, but like that's the same but that's the same fucking like muscle. You do the vibrations in the throat. So I was like, I was saying food for worms, and then I was like, I could be a throat singer someday. And
Dude, this is the content people are here for, Alex.
I-
Your little juicy content comment. This is what people are here for, bud.
I go through large periods of my life
Mm-hmm.
were you listening to throat singing?
No, where I
Oh.
forget that a didgeridoo is a thing. And every now and then it pops back up, and I always have to take a moment to be like, oh yeah, that's out there.
Well, and sometimes it just needs to didgeridoo, you know? Like, I had to throw that stupid fucking joke out there.
No, in context, it's really fucking good. Like that's an A+ joke right there, man.
Yeah, there's not a lot of times you can, a lot of conversations you'd need to really force trying to work that one in.
Yeah, and if
But
people
this
don't know
was-
what a didgeridoo
this
is, they're
is
like,
the-
what are you talking about,
This
didgeridoo?
is the conversation that I think exists for that joke. So I think you're doing great, Sam.
Oh my God! Everybody, think about the last time a didgeridoo was brought up in your section. Now, for the 16 people or one person that's listened 16 times in Australia, you probably know what a fucking didgeridoo is, and thank you for being here. And sorry.
No, now we get to play the game of trying to figure out who you guys know in Australia. Or
I
do
know
we?
2 people in Australia.
Oh, well, perfect. It's
You
probably one of
do?
them.
You would know some people in fucking Australia. I don't.
Dude,
I don't
listen,
know if I know anyone.
I was deep on Tumblr in the fucking early aughts, man. I have a bunch of friends in countries I will never visit, so it's fucking not a bunch. I have a handful of little people you reblogged a lot, and then eventually you started talking to them, and they were cool, and you remained a friendship over the internet.
But
Sorry,
with
that
us,
got really.
with us today.
Wait, no, wait. Now we're gonna do that? You're fucking derailed it. We're fucking over here. Whatever.
I'm bringing it back. With us today is Alex Azure, our good buddy, is back on the podcast today, and I'm fucking stoked that you're back, bud. How you doing?
Alex, thank you for being
good.
here.
Hello, thank you for having me.
This is nice.
This is nice. We talked about the chicken didgeridoo. I learned that my headset is bad and I needed to turn my input down. You guys
It
taught me how to
wasn't
do
bad.
that.
It's just the thing that happened, and it's okay.
But yeah, it's
well,
good
and
to
I
be
mean,
here.
we learn from it just deafening my ears last time. It didn't.
Glad I could help foster that the degrading your earlobes degrading, or your eardrums degrading over time faster.
Yeah, fuck you, Sam.
Sorry,
Anyway,
guys.
man. Yeah, so outside of that, that was a whole journey, everybody. Thank you. How have you been, man?
I've been good. I've been really good. It's
Yeah.
the up and down weather of Minnesota has been. I just want it to be layer season. I want to wear layers. I want to wear boots. I want to wear pants. But because of the state that I was just brought into this world in and haven't left yet, I don't get to just have that happen quickly or with any kind of predictability. Yep, it's just it's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Yeah, shout out climate change.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, because I love it when it gets to be like 60 some degrees, but then like in the morning I check the weather because I work outside and it's like it's gonna be 65 and I'm like, oh, that's fucking delightful. I can actually wear a hoodie all day, and then it's 89 by the end of the day, and I'm just
that's
like,
the trap. That's the fucking trap.
Yeah, you need to look at what it's gonna be like later.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like there's an over under where it's kind of like, are you okay with being a little cold? But
Yep.
you would rather be a little cold at some point than being overly fucking hot. And there's like a 10 to 15 degree difference. Like if you throw up a fucking thermometer for the outside, is that the correct thing?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
The thermometer for the outside. Darian, I don't know how to tell you this. The thermometer picks up the temperature regardless of its whether it's in or out.
Alex, I know. I am so sorry.
I hope there's someone that's really
introverted, extroverted Mercury that doesn't want to get out of its house and
never.
Yeah, they need to find the extroverted Mercury to just let it get out there and
This one isn't gonna kill you. Yeah, this one's a cool Mercury. The one you can really roll around in your hand and use as a toy. The 40s were wild, you guys. Yeah, no, I know. I'll say this right now. Today was my first day walking out, and I wore a hoodie. And it's really I won't even talk about what the content of the hoodie is, but I realized something recently. I base a lot of my outfits around a hoodie for some reason. But here's the thing though, but I don't adjust it. This summer I realized I didn't adjust it. I just wore what I would wear, but I also had what I would also think of what hoodie I'd wear, but it's 90 degrees outside, so I'm not gonna wear a fucking hoodie. So I was just, for some reason, somebody pointed out to me recently was like, hey Dan, you just wore like, because it was hot, but like you just wore shorts and a t-shirt. There's never like any variation. It's like a t-shirt, shorts, a pair of Vans, and I was like, yeah.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's I don't know, for some reason it was funny, and it makes you think, or made me think, being like, I really do just keep it simple, don't I? Huh? Yeah. I don't...
Yeah,
but
if I don't have a hoodie, my wardrobe just falls apart.
I know. That's how I feel sometimes, because you said, Sam, like you would go outside and you look at the weather and you're like, what's it gonna be like today? And then I was saying like the fucking 15% difference, man. I would rather just be fucking cold.
Yep.
I mean, that's me. And
I'm the same exact way, and I like wearing that basic outfit of like a hoodie, and then I've been using that word a lot more. I think you're rubbing off on me, D.
Wow.
I'm not calling you basic. I'm just saying you've called me basic in the past.
Wow,
For no, not in a generalization in certain
yeah, I'm not calling you
circumstances.
basic. I was,
No, I know you're like that
yeah,
thing
yeah,
you
yeah.
just
Keep
said
going,
is
keep going.
fucking
I get it,
basic.
I get
Let's
it,
get
I
into it.
get it.
Oh, but no, I like just throwing.
What was that?
I like throwing out a wild card where you're wearing the hoodie and it's like 60-degree Minnesota weather, and then
Yeah.
you have shorts on, but you also have long johns on under the shorts, and people
All
are
right,
like,
yeah,
"What the fuck does this guy have going on?"
Yeah.
He doesn't know what decision he's trying to make or like what statement he's going with here.
Yeah, like this guy woke up and he chose violence today. Look at what's going on.
Basic shit.
Oh my god.
There's nothing basic about what you just described.
Yeah. Yeah, like that person has like you see them, you're like, what could possibly be going on with you today, man? It's too hot for this.
I've been looking
You
for
gonna
a
be
good pair
okay?
of rain boots for a very long time just to go with that specific outfit. So
Hell yeah, that'd be a good outfit. That would definitely turn my head, but not in the way we'd all hope. So that okay. I didn't mean that in a mean way, but you know, I love you.
oh, I don't even care how you meant it. It was good. I like that. So I've been kind of learning how to deal with some things because I mean I think we were going to talk about some grief today and how we've dealt with grief in the past and how we deal with it today, and these days, and I'm trying to learn how to be a little bit more proactive to like not just brush things aside, because for a long time the way I would kind of deal with certain things is either negate my feelings and not address how I feel about something and try to change it. Just be like, oh, I'm cool with that. It's okay. I'm fine. Or just like not even acting like it didn't affect me, because that's like easier than actually addressing the fucking feelings that I have going on. And like with grief, I feel guilty that I have grief because it's like wasting my I could be feeling, a different way, but then, guilt adds to fucking grief. And I feel like those two are kind of like hand in hand with me, at least. Just with a lot of like downer feelings, comes guilt with me. And I think that's that was kind of a half of my upbringing was, riddled with guilt, and the other side was like, no, you're fucking great for feeling all right. And I don't need to name which parent did what, but there's two sides to every fucking coin.
You'll let them kind of suss that one out.
Yeah, like, hey, like what little parts of your personality did you impart on our child? Because I know what I did. I don't think
yeah. It's like, no, I didn't do that shit. What do you
like? No, I was just saying, yeah, like you look, he's indecisive. He got that from you, and you're not being indecisive.
But it's been weird because this year has been like the greatest, like a greatest, not greatest, a great time in a lot of regards, but then also a very hard time to go through. I've had, a couple of relationships fall apart, which fucking losing people that you've known and had in your life for the majority, if not all of your entire life, and then not having them there because of, it not doing what it used to for you, or it not putting forth something positive, then you feel fucking guilty because you're doing something to try and better these times. But then I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I guess
no, I feel like you're talking about like you were in a state of mourning after something's wrong, because it's like it's when you pre-mourn, like there's so many different types of layers of mourning, but like when you're mourning an end of something, when it's just an absence,
that
absence fucking blows and it hits you in a bunch of different ways. What were you about to say, Alex?
Oh no, I mean I was just going to add that grief like comes in, we often I think of like when you hear grief, what comes to mind is like, oh, someone has passed away, but it's such a more complex feeling and state of mind to be in, that is, it's a spectrum. There is, the grief of mourning a time in your life that has gone, or like you said, Sam, an old relationship that maybe didn't end the way that you didn't expect it to end, but it just kind of did for whatever reason. And I think, especially like in just the culture we live in now, it is very easy to just kind of gloss over that and power through it and not really take space to acknowledge
Yep.
just like, like I'm feeling grief right now. I'm feeling a
Mhm.
way about this ending and being able to give it a name instead of just being like, I just feel bad. Oh yeah,
And
it's just,
I think for me that's where like the guilt sometimes kicks in, because I'm taking, like, if I do take the time to feel that grief, it's like, oh, I'm taking time away to like focus on myself to work through this thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And then
Mhm.
Yeah.
like it's like outside of, me, my wife, my kids, my mom, my friends, my family. So it's just like that's kind of how it's been in my, like, it's just been, I don't know, that's been drilled into me. So like when I deal with certain things comes a little bit of guilt, because I shouldn't be dealing with that. I should be focusing on other things, I guess, is where the
For
guilt
sure,
comes
but
from.
but for sure, I know that part all too well.
Yeah,
I
we're
guess
all
with
from
that, man,
we
it's like
all
it.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
guilt?
hold
What?
it all in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Every
yeah.
last fucking drop of it. You don't. Why would you put it on somebody else? Why?
Yep.
No, I'm joking. We're not. No, we're working on letting go of that mindset. And I know that all too well, because like you're wondering like it feels like a distraction, but then it's like, and then like, why should I feel that way? Because I have all these other things. Like, you have to let yourself feel those things, or they're gonna deal with you in a different way. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important when you're actually able to um when you are able to, like Alex said, name it and know when you need to do that, so then you can do the things you need to do, so you can get out, so you can get. I think getting out is one thing. Getting just through it, it's the
Right.
same
Yeah,
fucking thing. But just like, if
and
you like, you have to, we have to let yourself feel it. You have to go through. You have to acknowledge it, because then if you don't say everything's fine, it's like it isn't fine. And like I said, it'll deal with it another way. And I don't like throwing the word manifest around, but sometimes it manifests in a way that you could just be like, start lacking on one other thing. It's like, if
Yep.
you don't deal with
yeah,
your shit, then all of a sudden it fucking comes through you. It comes through you in the night. You're just like,
Well,
night terrors, not again.
and certain things might not hit you or go away. It takes time for both of those things, like
Mhm.
time, like, one thing that has come up recently, I've been playing drums again,
Mhm.
and I quit
Good
playing
shit. Good
drums
shit.
cold. Thank you. Thank you. I quit playing drums cold turkey for almost the past 2 years, because my band of like 6 years broke up over a bunch of bullshit that I
Mhm.
don't have to dive into. That's other people's stuff and drama that happened within our group. But like me and like a couple of the other guys, we were kind of like holding that together, because it was a big part of my life for a very long time. And then it just stopped because of something that was out of my control. And
Mhm.
I had major grief over that.
Yeah.
Not just the band, but like making and creating and performing music in
Mhm.
general. So then I was just like, fuck this. I don't need drums. I don't need to try to have this endeavor anymore. And then recently, now it's like turning into a therapy for me again. So now it's like something positive, and it took fucking 2 years. So I guess that's a long way for me to explain. Like sometimes time just helps, and that can be
yeah.
the band-aid,
And even just giving yourself, like, even just like coming to terms with, like, understanding it's grief, calling it grief, it really, I think, helps to contextualize
Mm-hmm.
a moment in your life, and it kind of builds off what Darian was saying, where like you don't, if you take a step back and think, okay, what was my behavior like throughout the day, or maybe the last week, and if you kind of give yourself the space to understand, like, oh, I'm going through a moment of grief, it really contextualizes a lot of that, so you maybe don't, less likely to, I think, internalize or feel guilty about it, because you're kind of giving yourself the space to say, I quit this and it was unhealthy, but there was a level of grief to that, if that
Yep.
Mhm.
makes sense.
No, I for sure, giving yourself the space to admit that to yourself instead of just denying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Where my grief, I think we all just kind of feel just away, and anxieties pop off at any given time, and sometimes you really can't fucking pinpoint it. For all, even just naming it sometimes is, for me, isn't always enough, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why I feel that way. And it's just a chemical mixture. Maybe it's a moment, and one thing I know for certain for me is that it will always pass, thankfully. But there's definitely some times when it's kind of like, where the fuck is this coming from? And then sometimes I'm like, well, you just drink a bunch of coffee. Have you drink some water first, and then I drink some water, and then I feel better.
Instead, like, am I experiencing grief? Before you get there, the question is, have you drank any water today?
Yeah.
The answer is no. Do that first.
Do that first.
That fixes it.
Yeah.
No, but it was, but just for me, grief. I really associate grief with loss more than anything. I definitely get the case of the sads, and that just happens. Like whenever you just lose your happy for a minute, the melancholy, fucking go for it. But when I'm like, hell yeah, melancholy. Um, sorry, I'm laughing at myself.
No, you're fine.
I associate grief more with loss than anything, and like we said, we were mourning friendships, but me, like, I've been very fortunate. Like I've had people pass away. That's definitely, I know what loss is. Um, I've had my own experience with it. But then but there's a part of me that gets kind of like, when I have lost somebody, I get kind of like, there's a part of me that regrets that I knew them for in a really quick moment, because I wish that I didn't have to fucking feel this right now with them being gone. I wish that there was times I've said, like, I wish I didn't, like, I hate feeling this fucking way. After this, like, I hate feel this fucking way. I wish I didn't fucking know them, because now I'm fucking hurting. And then I'm like, that sounds really shitty. And then I work my way back. I go walk up to that ledge. I'm like, fuck this.
But then
and
you
then
start to think of those memories that you guys had.
Yeah, man. Like
you don't want to get rid of those memories at the same time of not feeling the grief.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not even about. For me, it's not even about like letting go of the memories. It's just like it's like fuck, like you're like, this person's gone, and then but then that's my, like, there was clearly an action, or just an action, and then my reaction to that shit. So it's like just something that's completely outside of myself. So for me, like, that's where the feelings of deep grief come from. I actually, like, no, this is grief, and I know that. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to say goodbye more. It's not necessarily become easier, because it always fucking happens depending on the proximity of the person, but it's like, being able to know that every, like, and I'm stealing a line from Ali, but it's like, every hello is an eventual goodbye. That part that helped me contextualize that grief was like, everybody, eventually we're all gonna say bye. I hate to say it, we're all sitting here all talking about it, but it's like, one day you and I, the last time I saw you in person was like,
what?
Oh my god, like, no, because that's the thing though. Like, so many people, they think they have fucking time, and we all waste time in our own different fucking ways, and that's fine. Not fine. I think we should all do our best, but I think we are all owed time just to fuck off. I don't think we all have to be completely, like, going at it 24 fucking 7. That sounds awful, but but there is this sense that people, like, they think they have time, and it's like, sometimes you fucking don't. Like, we know every fucking day we are the lucky ones that are still here for whatever reason. But sometimes you just walk outside your door and then it's done. No, like, and that's dark, and I apologize, but it's just like, but
I mean,
man, that's real.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it's like, I think especially given the context of the last year and a half, 2 years now. It hasn't been 2 years. Time's not real anymore. But in these pandemic times, it's like, I mean, I've lost a few people over the pandemic, where it has really made me, it has made me stop and think a little bit more just about, like, oh, when was the last time I spoke to this person? And it was people that were pretty far removed from me. Like, I knew them, and it wasn't any close friendships or relationships, but it was still just like that moment where you stop and think, like, oh, I used to think, like, every couple of years this person would pop into my head and I'd think about them, and now that is a completely different experience when that happens now.
The fucking rug gets pulled from underneath you.
Yeah, and, like you said, Darren, like, you don't know when that moment's gonna hit. Like, you don't know what you're gonna be doing when it's just like that random thing pops in your head and makes you think about this person that isn't around anymore, whether it be just because you're not close anymore, or whether it is the, dead. I don't know how to segue into that one.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, like, off of both what you're saying and what Dee was saying, like, learning to be cool with saying the goodbye, and like that's like a part of grieving if you do lose somebody. If you're able to like say goodbye to what you had, or uh at least for hopefully some closure for yourself. Like if we went into every relationship being afraid of like someday saying goodbye to that person,
Yeah.
you would never, like that would just kind of negate any relationship that you would try to be building with them, because then
Yeah.
you
Or
might
just
be
like
putting up
trying
walls because you're like, I'm afraid to lose you before I even fucking know you. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but if
Yeah.
that's the way you're going about it, you might not be able to find a genuine, friendship, relationship, what have you.
Relationship. No, I know.
Relationship.
I know. That was a bad one. No, I feel that it's with I think being able to look at it for what it is,
Mhm.
it just makes it just a little bit easier to know that, you know, whatever this line is that we're walking down, it is what it is. I don't like to do the whole like things shit happens for a reason, and I'm like sometimes shit happens for no reason.
Yeah, I
And
would say
Yeah.
that
you
I
know,
would actually, I think, argue that most shit happens for no reason.
for no
Like
reason.
a majority. If stuff is happening for a reason, it is definitely just a fraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just me, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's not like
Yeah,
something you can pin down as a
everything happens for a reason. Nah, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it happens for no reason, and it shouldn't have happened at all. And fuck.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but
Fuck that reason.
yeah, fuck that
Or
reason.
lack
Fuck
of.
you too, you piece of shit. No, I'm joking. No, but I guess to bring us out of that, we fuck, that was dark.
I mean, we're talking
We're
about
talking about
grief.
grief.
I
That's
feel
We're
like
dark
it's
talking
in
about
gonna get
general.
grief. No, we're talking about grief, but here's the thing: grief can be anything. Just having a hard time at school, having a hard time at life, and then also the big one, loss. So it's like grief is connected in so many different ways. I feel like grief is at the end result of every feeling
Mhm.
that is eventually like just like I'm feeling great. This reason I'm not, this reason I'm feeling great is no longer happening anymore. Eventually, grief is like, oh no, oh no. So it is a, like Alex, you said, a fucking spectrum of just different forms of grief.
Someday
And
that chicken isn't going to be across the street
street,
anymore, Alex,
fuck.
and
I mean,
you're gonna
okay.
have to learn how to say goodbye.
To
You and
Renegade.
Okay.
you and Ammo will have
So-
to be able to say goodbye to Renegade someday.
Well, so segueing. So I, one of the things I do in our neighborhood when we go for walks is I
Uh-huh.
have made and kept track of where the neighborhood cats usually are.
Oh,
So when
Jesus.
we're walking, me and Ammo will go and like I'll go on a route to try to see as many of these cats as possible because they're all
That's
super friendly.
awesome.
But then you
That's
go
really
through a
cute.
bout
Holy
of
shit, Alex.
walking a lot, and
Yeah.
you just maybe you don't see that cat for a while, and you never know. Like I could just never see that cat again. I'll never know
Yeah.
if it's okay or if it's literally just I'm missing it by like a 5-minute window because it's gone inside already.
I was wondering like what those cats get into. I just recently was kicking with somebody, and they were staying at their house sitting and cat sitting for a friend, and the cats go outside into the city every day. And if they don't go out, they fucking just make racket and break things
Yep.
until they get let out. I've never had a cat. I've never had a cat. I've never lived with a cat that has ever seen the fucking light of day outside longer than like 30 seconds. Cause so that whole idea is foreign to me. I'm just kind of
Yep.
like, you just let the cats out, and like, yeah, I'm like, so there's a part of me that it's really endearing, but it's like, these cats have full fucking lives, okay? They have
Yeah,
spots to go to. They have
they go to
no.
their
Here's
cat
the,
jobs,
dude,
9 in the morning,
dude,
head over to work, come back 5 at
my
night.
dude, I'm telling you, now, I feel like these fucking cats, they have like whole other families. So I'm saying like I'm here during the day and I'm here at night, and it's like what the fuck?
Oh no,
Especially-
100% they do. I mean, one of our cats was like a neighborhood cat that
Yeah.
the neighborhood couldn't figure out who it belonged to. My
Yeah.
sister's like, yeah, we just let it inside and like feed it. One night they like let it in their bedroom and she just slept with them and then let her
Yeah.
out the next day. And I was
Yeah, if you
in
don't catch
town.
anything, you're good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was in town and
yeah.
winter
I
was coming, and I'm like, we're just gonna take this is my cat now. I'm just taking this.
Yeah.
cat.
I love the idea that there's a cat that they do just these fucking little feline bastards get around, that they're just like hey, I'm gonna go over here down to Sam's house this week because they got the dry food over there and it's really better. It's for my stomach. But I go over to Eileen down the street off of 36 and 4th. She's got the fucking wet food. All right, she's got the good wet food, not the bullshit from Byerly. She got the fucking whole
Yeah.
food shit. And
Yeah,
on that
she
note,
thinks I'm a stray, so she
she,
gives me the whole fucking can.
the whole
She
fucking
just leaves it out
yeah,
because she doesn't
yep.
think I'll get close enough to her because I'm afraid because I'm a stray.
Yeah, man. For once a year, she gets me some fucking full on Alaskan cod. That's a
Her,
fish, right?
her
Anyway,
her personal cat is holding the cat door open, and they're
yeah.
like, "Come on, guys,
Come
come on
in.
in here."
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
I
on
had
that
I have
note,
Oh, sorry. I
uh,
have one story to tell that's like goofy about an outdoor cat.
okay.
I had a cat growing up named Tigger, and he was just a big orange cat that looked like Garfield basically, and he was just a big brute. And he went out every single day, and he would go out all day and then come back for fucking dinner, and then that's just what his life was. But one time that he got out, he was gone for like 5 days, and we were just like understanding, or we're learning to just get used to the idea that he's probably not coming back. And my stepmom, the fourth night, had
Fuck
a
that.
dream. Well, but no, that's like something if
Yeah,
they're
I
gone
know,
for
yeah,
like a
yeah.
week, you got to
Yeah.
kind of understand, like they're probably, yeah. But my stepmom, she had a dream that, like a vivid dream of him like roaming through the forest down the creek or whatever, and got into like a legit fight with a raccoon. And then he showed up the next day with his collar gone and like scratches all around his face. And then so yeah, it was like, dude, what'd you fucking get into?
Dude, he's seen
beating
some.
up
That cat's
beating
seen
up
some shit. He
raccoons and shit. Yeah.
probably picked up
Hey, that-
smoking after that.
that whole
Couldn't put
adventure,
down the bottle.
that 5-day adventure was your cat's villain origin story.
Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna take a quick break, really quick, and go get a word from.
Food Performance Podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Sam, you've been to therapy, right?
Yeah, it always helps my brain and my heart to get the weird, sad, scary stuff off my chest.
Yeah, man, the case of the sads comes at you fast, but yeah, without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace in this day and age is just hard. It truly is.
Well, and I mean, who wants to go to an office where you have to be by like a real life human?
Absolutely not. No, not in this me body, sir. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, and then like the recycled air, just that you both have to breathe in each other's faces.
To validate your parking and talk to Janice outside. No, thank you. To avoid that nightmare fuel, BetterHelp is a customized online therapy that offers video, phone, or live chat sessions with a licensed therapist. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy and can start communicating with the therapist in under 48 hours. That's nice, right?
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
rad.
This
Super rad.
podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Food for Worms listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/foodforworms.
Goddamn right.
That's betterhelp.com/foodforworms.
I wish it was my chicken. It's not. It's my neighbor's. I'd adopt it.
Darian and I know it as you and Ammo's chicken. Okay,
No,
we
yeah,
don't
this-
have a
yeah.
we don't have a relationship outside of you and this
Yeah.
chicken with the chicken, so it's
Yeah.
yours. It's
And
you.
then
Fantastic.
there's that, but there's also like, man, like y'all, this dog, this rooster chicken person gets out of the fucking thing. So at that point, that's the neighborhood's chicken. If we really want to get into it,
Is it
Yeah.
a rooster?
Maybe.
I don't think you can
No,
have
no.
roosters in the
No,
city.
it's a chicken.
fuck, that'd be
Okay.
pain in the ass, right? Could you
Fucking
imagine
hen.
being like the one house in the block and the person next to you, they have a fucking rooster? That sound that like it's like what are you doing? I'm not gonna fucking snitch on you, but why?
My one neighbor's had 2 goats in the city, which is like very illegal because they at like 4
What's wrong with
4 or
goats
5
being in the
a.m. are
city?
just
One of
Oh my
our one of our
God.
goals is to get a goat. Like I want a goat at some point. They're great.
and just name them the goat.
The goat.
All right. Yeah, it's a G period. No. Hey everybody, we're back. That was an interesting little turn there. Thanks guys. Thank you for that.
You're the
Anyway,
goat. T.
I have a question, and
What is it?
I'm asking because this has been a thing that's happened. It's been more frequent lately because
Mhm.
the world that we're living in. Have y'all been getting like those weird fucking random phone calls? Or somebody saying like, "Hey, you want a thing today?" with a link attached to in your phone, in your email.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
so
like,
many.
Yeah, like, isn't it getting like kind of out of hand at this point?
Yeah, I mean,
And
Darren, we're in the darkest timeline. Everything's getting
I
internet.
know.
Like, there's no
Yeah.
stopping it. Like, I want someone to do a study that links like the uptick of those emails,
Mhm.
phone calls about your fucking auto warranty about to expire. Like, there's got to be something, like some event that transpired that this just skyrocketed.
Yeah. I think that that one probably exists. Yeah, this happening so often has been really like it's been making me like think like have I almost gotten got before? Because there's sometimes it can if they really want to target you, sometimes it gets really fucking sophisticated. Like there's like voice capturing thing, they already have your shits and now they're using your voice. It's fucking wild. Um but it made me think about the times where I had almost been scammed.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm saying like just like flat out I didn't there were a couple red flags that just weren't there and my blinders are on and there's a moment it was like the moment where I realized I was about to get scammed and then I was like aha why did it take so long to get here?
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah, when you actually catch on and you're like, why was I going along with you, or why was I not full on believing, but why was I kind of hoping that maybe this was a reality, or
yeah
like
no, yeah
having an understanding that, oh, this person means no harm to me.
yeah no yo there's the one time I the closest I've ever been was when I was in high school, my car broke down. No, in high school, when I was in college, my car broke down, and I was really I need some money, nah. And I don't know why I said it like that. But I was trying to buy a car, and I had like a little bit of money saved up, and I was talking to my uncle. I was like, hey, would you be able to help me like just a little bit? So on this and everything, I was like, he's like, all right, let's look at some cars. So I'm looking on fucking Craigslist, and this dude's like, yo, new 2003, fucking not not the Windstar. What's the like if I knew the fucking name, you know what the fuck it is. But they're like those cars are really fucking big between like 2006 to 2013.
PT
I'll post them.
Cruisers.
I wish it was, but it was a
Okay.
different one. Uh,
I think
I
those are
wish it was a fucking
a little
PT
bit
Cruiser.
earlier.
Yeah,
Okay.
at some point, apparently, Baby and Lil Wayne had a fucking stretch PT Cruiser back in like when the fucking the crib shit was still happening on MTV. Jesus, why?
That was
Anyway,
some just throwaway money.
yeah. Why
Yeah,
not? It's like
stretch
no,
it.
no. Like I let Jimmy want to know why, because there was a point where fucking PT Cruisers they were the bees fucking knees. Anyway, my overall point after that whole journey was, uh, I needed a car. They were like, "Yo, I'm currently out. I need to sell my car because I'm not going to be back in time, and I need to do it. I need to have it be gone in 45 for like within the next 2 days, the next 48 hours." And I was like, "Oh shit, this guy seems kind of like not desperate, but it was like, oh shit, well then this could really work out for me." Nah, nah, nah. So that was my first thing. I was like, "Yeah, guy who isn't technically in the States right now, currently over there, is trying to sell his car." And I was like, yeah, fucking called that dude, and then I got a fucking weird fucking phone call back by some really cagey guy, and I was like, hey, it's the guy. He's like, oh yeah, no, no, no. I was like, and then we're trying to set up, and then yeah, send me like $400 today, and it's yours. And I was like, yeah, look, let me look into that, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I go back to my uncle, and I was like, yo, so I got this guy on the line right now, and he's like, we send him some money today. We'll go pick up the car tomorrow, and then he's holding on to his friend, and then my uncle was like, hey,
Nah.
hey, he's like, yeah, my dead ass Alex. He was like, nah, that
Yeah,
sounds like a scam, my boy.
you're not giving this person
Yeah,
$400.
he's like, this sounds like a scam, my boy. And I was like, what? He's like, that guy's clearly a scam. And then it was like somebody was like, hey, you big, like it was like the flick you in the forehead moment, just like
Mm-hmm.
oh, now he gets it. And I was like, oh no. No, and it was one of those times I was like, my fucking good nature was just laid to bare, just being like, oh, you have too much light.
Well, and it's good that you had your uncle though, because it takes something like everybody falls for something like that they're
Yeah,
like, your good nature is being like taken advantage of
yeah,
basically.
yeah. I got
And you're like gonna go along with this thing, but it's good that your uncle was there to be like, "Nah, you're too
nah.
good of a person."
But yeah, how have you guys ever been? How close have you ever been to being
Well, the
scammed?
one that like freaked me out, I mean, I can't think. I know that there was one when I was in college, but I don't really remember what it actually was, so I don't want to make up a story. But like the one that like freaked me out recently was like getting the call saying, um that there was like legal action on my
Oh my
name in
God,
another
that
state,
one?
and like
Yeah.
that's like I wasn't like ready to like give them my information or whatever, but I was actually like staying on the phone talking to them, trying to like figure out what was
Oh,
going
yeah.
on because I was like, okay, what how do you have my information? And I mean, obviously it was just a cold call. They randomly fucking called me, but that's the one that like I was like,
No,
this sounds,
that's
it could be legit sketchy.
a fear tactic of just like the police are after you, and you're just like, bah!
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had one like that. I didn't let them get that far. And sorry, Alex, I'll let you go next. Where they were like, your social security was used to rent a car, and it was involved in a crime past the Mexican border. You need to call in this number now and make an appointment to come down and talk to us. No. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
at that point I never heard that before, so I was like, excuse me. I was like, and then, but then here's the thing though. But I was like, again, first time this ever happened. But I was like, this feels like bullshit. But I also don't like fucking around. Like, I need to verify that this is bullshit. So I call the fucking number, and it's a guy, and he's just like, yeah, man, you need to do all this. Come on down. I need your social security number and all this other shit. And I was like, you need. He said he needed to verify it. I was like, you need me to verify it? He's like, don't you already have it? He's like, yeah. I was like, then what the fuck? And like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
The fuck did you just ask me for?
Yeah,
No,
I got that. I got that
absolutely
same
not.
call. I got that same call right after the other one that they were saying that there was legal action on my name, and I was like, then I started fucking with the guy saying that somebody used my identity to drive this car across the border, and I was
yeah,
just like,
no,
oh,
yeah. I told the guy, I was like, listen, man, if you're saying that if the U.S. Marshals wanted me, they
Yeah.
would
They
fucking come and get me.
yeah,
They know
yeah.
exactly where the fuck
If
I
this,
am.
I promise you, if this was a bigger deal, I would
Yeah.
not need to make an appointment.
Appointment.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's
Yeah.
the DMV. Everyone's waiting to
Yeah.
talk to people about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah, man, no, sorry, you, sir, you're not getting me. I just hung up on him. Alex, how about you? You ever been close to being scammed before?
No, I mean, I think like the closest thing I can think of in that realm is when me and Emma were in Thailand. We had, I believe, so we spent a little bit of time in Bangkok. We flew out to an island for a few days, and then we flew back, and we're gonna hang out, and we had a hotel in like Chinatown in Bangkok. But we get off of our tiny little plane that flew us to the island, and we're on our way back on the last leg of our trip, and we definitely got hustled into a cab, because there is a lot of people that are set up where they want to essentially, instead of being like with the big like cab unions, they essentially find tourists, and they're just like, oh, like, where are you going? Like, no, I no, like, come with me, like, we got a thing. So we're like following these people because they kind of picked up on we were looking for transportation as best we can. And we're following them, and all of a sudden, like, we're walking like pretty far out of the airport, like past like a road, and there's just a cab there. And initially, this person tries to get us to like, oh, you give me some money, and then pay the rest of the money when you get there. And I'm just like, I am absolutely not giving you any money now. You have done nothing. You have walked me here. And then I kind of like pieced it together later. Then she goes and talks to the driver, and they're probably working out like she was getting a cut, right?
Yep.
So she brings him a car, like customers. So we get in this cab, and it's that moment where like hindsight 2020, I'm like, man, lots of red flags. Shouldn't have gotten in this cab.
Right. Yeah, you stupid American.
There aren't any seatbelts in the back. This I at this point I have GPS'd our hotel, so I can see that this guy is actually like not taking us into like way out of off the fucking beaten path.
Right.
And I'm like low key because they have like their credentials. I'm just like low key like taking pictures. So I'm like, if shit goes south, I'm just sending this to everyone on my phone.
Yep.
And it turned out fine, but there was that moment of like, yeah, this could have been a much different vacation.
Yeah.
Right off the bat too.
Yeah, that feeling of like, am I getting got right now? Fuck.
It's even more embarrassing because we had been there long enough that we should have, because this is like the last leg of our trip. So we had gotten to Bangkok, went to our hotel, gotten to the airport, flew to a different part of Thailand, flew back. I mean, when we were on the island, even we had the moment of like these guys just outside our hotel that we kind of like talking to the hotel staff. They're just like, oh yeah, no, that's just kind of their version of like cabs around here. Is there's just a bunch of guys sitting outside of hotels, and then they see you and they're like, oh, where you going? Cool. And then they go and find a guy that doesn't speak English, and they tell him like, oh, this is where they're going, and you hop in his car. And there's some kind of miscommunication that this guy was taking us to the wrong place. And it was this like 15-minute conversation with this guy as he had like pulled off to the side. And I have my GPS, and we're trying to think of what words we know in Thai to like tell him where we're trying to get, because we were
bathroom.
We were essentially trying to get to this distillery. There's like a rum distillery that we were going to go visit, and it was called Chalong Bay Distillery. Well, he was driving us to Chalong Bay, the geographic location, which is a beach.
Great.
And it's like an hour away. And luckily I had again GPS on to make sure that I'm like, nope, make sure this guy's not taking us somewhere that we're not trying to go. And we eventually figured it out, and we just tipped this guy a lot because he also looked absolutely mortified and terrified of like, are these? I like to think that he's thinking, are these American tourists going to kill me?
You're both afraid of each other.
Yeah. So the moment you're like, they're just as scared of us as we are of them in this very awkward situation right now.
When is saying okay boomer fair?
For me, I have two parents that are in that age range, so I'd say pretty much whenever they say most anything.
Oh my god.
The answer is probably almost always.
Yeah. Honestly, like our generation gap between the two is so fucking different that they would definitely say, all right. I mean, my parents wouldn't, but people of that age would also be like, oh, millennials, blah, blah, blah. That means I can say, okay, boomer, like all the time. I'm totally down for, like Alex said, pretty much whenever.
Like,
I guess
that moment, I think anytime someone from that generation starts, like, I think it's the most apt response when someone from an older generation is attempting to explain to you how the world works from their position when they were your age, when it is very clear that we're living in two completely different worlds. Right?
You're talking about 2021. They're talking about 1970.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't have the time or energy to explain to you how inflation works. I don't have time to explain to you how late stage capitalism works, or,
what's that?
The effects of, social media's impact on like the speed with which technology advanced in the era that I grew up in. I just don't have time and the energy to tell. It's like, no, okay, boomer. Like, I'm not going to argue with you. You just go ahead. Like, I don't,
for sure.
I don't have the hours in the day to have that conversation with you. And normally, like, if I'm interacting with anyone from that generation, there's a very good chance I owe them nothing.
Right.
Hey, word. For sure, man. I agree. For me, it's like I don't lead with okay, boomer. That's just me. I was like, I don't like. I think like, yes, sometimes boomers happen to you, so sometimes you're not you're not expecting.
Yeah, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
How does one lead into that conversation with okay, boomer? Like,
no,
like I'm walking.
Well, you wouldn't start a conversation by being a condescending prick, would you?
No,
Would
but
you?
the way I'm thinking of that is like
Yeah.
an older man from boomer generation is
Yeah.
walking with me into a gas station, and I just hold the door, and I'm like, okay, boomer, and then I let him grab the door himself. Like out of context, that's where my brain goes
Jesus
because I'm
Christ.
just like, fuck you, boomer.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. No. How about this? Let's leave it. No. Let's leave it there because I was gonna do my own rant, but let's let's move on to the next part, to the main event of our conversation. Outside of grief.
Dun, 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 dun,
Keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, no, keep going. Why you stop?
Are you ready for this?
Oh,
Skip, skip, skip.
hey everybody. Welcome to Food for Worms top 3 cover songs.
Like, do you guys have to worry about copyright for that one?
Probably a little bit. Fuck, Sam. How long were you singing that?
I'd say like 3 or 4 seconds, dude. Jock Jams ain't got shit on us. We are fine. We're good.
Everybody wanted to say like, hey, well, here is Exhibit A, admitting that was the song. Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna be doing a top 3 of our top 3 favorite covers with some with 2 honorable mentions. We were just kind of just talking. We're like, what haven't we done some songs about yet? We've done our cathartic ones, we've done our happy sad ones, we've done our Jay Bird conversation ones. That was a long conversation. Hi Bird.
It was.
But now we're gonna talk about our covers, and I went down a fucking rabbit hole today. There were some songs that I forgot was a fucking cover.
No, it is hard because there's so many good covers out there, and I found what was useful to me was to try to, as I was doing it, be like, these are maybe not like a top, like when it comes to top anything, I'm just like, I normally can't really pick. It kind of depends on the time of the day, what mood I'm in. So I kind of tried to use some metrics, like I need to know the original, like I need to like the original a lot, and I need to enjoy the cover like just as much. Like I don't want to get into the whole like I love this cover, but I've never listened to the original.
Yeah. But sometimes that shit happens though, because there's a few songs where I just heard the original like this year, and I was I tried to kind of avoid those, or if I had listened to the original like second, like if I heard the cover first, then I listened to the original version. Did I care about the original version? Those are where I'm like, nope, that's how I know if it's like a good cover, is if I like both versions of the song.
Some songs were just popularized by the actual cover. Like it's known more for that than the actual, like a Kinks. Kinks did "You Really Got Me," and then even on fucking Guitar Hero, it says, as originally played by Van Halen. Fuck no, it wasn't. 20 years earlier, the Kinks played it. You dumbass! Like, what are you talking about?
Jesus. Okay, boomer.
Yeah, I'm a boomer.
Anyway, so Sam, do you want to kick us off?
Well, I thought Alex could. He's our guest.
Oh yes.
He's our guest. So, my first one of my favorite bands of all time is Murder by Death. Everyone should go and check them out if you haven't. They actually, what they do is every now and then they do a Kickstarter album that is entirely covers. And one of the backer rewards is if you donate them like $1,000 to the Kickstarter, they're like, you get to just pick a song that we play on this album. So go and check them out. They're all the albums are called As You Wish, which is a Princess Bride reference.
That's great.
It's fantastic. But it was really hard to pick from all of the covers on there that I like, but the one that I landed on was they do a cover of Howl by Florence and the Machine.
Nice.
And I love both of these covers equally, but because they're two completely different genres of music, it creates that nice, interesting, like Murder by Death is very like folky, old-timey. Lead singer gets, every time I play them, people are like, is this Johnny Cash? I'm like, no, it's not. But it's kind of like that realm of music, and it just adds this layer to the song that just makes it feel more I don't know, kind of like you're listening to a monster movie. Whereas the Florence and the Machine song, it just doesn't quite have that same vibe. Equally, it's good vibe, but just completely different context because of the genre.
You can imagine if Florence and the Machine was like making monster music, just being like, oh yeah, like this one, there's something creeping in the night.
Yeah, there's something about that, like something about the genre, the kind of the more kind of folky sound of Murder by Death just gives it this really interesting way to understand the lyrics a little bit differently.
Right.
Hell yeah. Can I go next?
Yeah, of course.
Tight. My first song is "Killing Me Softly." Killing me with. Oh my God! Edit, please.
What song did you pick, D?
I'm trying to get there. Yeah, thank you. My first song is "Killing Me Soft" with his song by the cover by the Fugees.
Ooh.
Yeah, that song's fucking incredible. That video is one of my earliest memories from back in like Cecil B. Newman, fucking 1990. Was it five maybe?
Around there.
I don't know, around then, of that song, and it's fucking incredible. It's like one of my tops.
Well, they sampled the original in the song, right?
They use the whole fucking lyrics. It wasn't like the sample. Like I think that they do sample a little bit on some backing vocals, but it's basically the fucking same song. But Lauryn Hill just comes in. No, I'm not coming at you. I'm not coming at you. But
I know. But Lauryn Hill sings it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill sings it. It was composed by Charles Fox. I don't know what the fuck that guy is, and then the lyrics are by Norman Gimbel. But the original version, there are a couple different versions, but like one of the big ones was sang by Roberta Flack or Flack.
Oh,
Flack.
Roberta Flack.
Yeah, fucking great, just great, fucking amazing singer. And then Lauryn Hill came through in the '90s. Was like, yeah, okay, I see you, and excuse me, Miss Lauryn Hill, you dress her as such. It's a fucking phenomenal song. So that's me. That's one of my earliest memories. I remember seeing that song, and then I remember seeing Sister Act and being like, oh, that's that one lady from the one song. Oh, this is great. And honestly, I couldn't tell you which one was before. I just know that. I think incredible.
I think the song was prior to Sister Act 2.
Great. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think she probably got that role because of how gnarly she was in the Fugees, for sure.
Gnarly. You with this okay.
I'm definitely diving into my millennial.
Yeah.
Saying gnarly.
Yeah, welcome back.
Coming back. My first song, I'm gonna kind of go off of what Alex was saying, with like songs sounding like very different from each other, but they're their own song in like their own regard. And it's from two of my favorite punk bands from when I was in middle school. I got into both of these groups, and they put out a album that they cover each other's songs for the entire album, and it is NOFX and Rancid.
Nice.
And NOFX covers Radio by Rancid, which was originally written by Tim Armstrong of Rancid and Billy Joe Armstrong of fucking Green Day. And they wrote that in like 94. And that's the song. It's like a punk rock version, and NOFX fucking covers it with El Jefe on trumpet and Fat Mike. And they're playing it in like a super ragged out ska version where he's like radio, radio, radio. And it's fucking like 10 times slower than the original. So that was because two punk bands doing way different versions of the song.
I that's my favorite. Like whenever it's a cover, like that's like my favorite way that bands approach covers is, there's I think some songs out there, which I'll touch on in my honorable mentions, that if you're gonna cover it, it is such a big song that there is very few liberties you can take with it without everyone just completely dragging you, right?
Yep.
But and to still do the cover well is impressive when you can be like, okay, I can't really take a lot of liberties with this, but I'm gonna fucking nail this cover.
Well, and make it your own.
Yeah,
that's like the main thing that I love, is just like do your own thing with it, and pay due and respect to the original, but do your own thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So my second one, I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of a genre shift here, and I actually couldn't. This one I don't think exists on Spotify. I think you need to go to YouTube to watch it, and it is
either does the one I just named. That's not on Spotify.
It is an artist named Just a Gent, who is an artist from Australia, and he covers "Day and Night" by Kid Cudi. But he does a lot of the he just does like a remix of it. And what they do is they have other artists that come in to fill up the vocals, and it is Tondi Phoenix and El Fresh the Lion, who are also Australian artists, because I found this in an Australian radio show where they have bands come in and cover songs.
Oh, cool.
And it's great, and they absolutely fucking kill it. Like, I like the original. I liked that entire album. That was one of the earlier, I think, hip hop albums I got into, was Kid Cudi. But yeah, there's just something about it. They have live strings, so they have like a stand-up bass, they have a violin, they have this little nerdy looking Australian dude just on his little pad hitting the buttons, and then the guy, like El Fresh the Lion, I would just recommend check him out. He fucking kills it on the one verse that he does in it. It's fucking incredible.
I'll check it out.
Definitely check it out. It's on YouTube. That's the only place I've been able to find it. That's all I gotta say.
Deep cut.
Deep cut.
Yeah, it's incredible. I haven't played that for anyone that has not been just like, holy fuck. Like,
Right.
And it kind of comes at you fast. Fuck
Yeah.
man. My second one is gonna be the song "With a Little Help from My Friends" by Joe Cocker.
So it's such a. I saw that on your list, and I was
yeah.
like, "Fuck yeah!"
I don't tell you right now, man. That song, it was like nearly 20 years later that I found out like that's a Beatles song, and I was like, well, then Joe Cocker, like as far as I'm concerned, this is Joe Cocker's song. I'm sorry, Sergeant Pepper, like you're not really doing anything for me with this song. And then I actually got to hear like the original version. I'm like, this is nice. Joe Cocker's better. Sorry. But no, that I associate that whole album with that song, excuse me, with fucking after school, getting done with the not doing my homework, and then watching Power Rangers, and then once soon as that shit wrapped up, then it started going into that fucking that Monday night block. So then it was like fucking what's that one show with Neil Patrick Harris? What was it?
Doogie Howser.
Doogie Howser.
How I Met Your Mother.
Doogie Howser. Thank you.
Okay.
Doogie Howser, and then Wonder Years, and then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then whatever the fuck happened after that. But I remember that.
Brady Bunch.
Have a little help from my friend, and I was like, hell yeah, man! The '90s are fucking wild. I hope Kevin's okay this week. And then, and then
maybe he gets Winnie this week.
Yeah. And then once it was all done, I was like, hell yeah. And then I got older and I realized that this song is fucking incredible. And then here's the thing, there was also a realization, even because I didn't know it was like a full on song. I thought this is just like an original song because I was 5. Original song written as an opening for the show. Up until that point, as a kid, I didn't realize that like no, songs have been getting used. Full on songs are being used by famous people to make intros for fucking TV shows. It did a great fucking job. And speaking of the Wonder Years, there's actually a new Wonder Years on fucking TV right now. It's revamped with a fucking black family, and I am about that shit. Let's fucking see.
I saw that as well,
Yeah.
and I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, me and Emma watched the first episode, and it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
fantastic.
good.
It was
Hell
good.
yeah. No, yeah, I want to see that fucking show go far. So, with a little help from my friends, but I will say this: when I first wrote it, it says "have a little help from my friends." Like that's not the name of the fucking song. Have a little my friends. I was like, yeah, that's it. And then I was like, no, with a little help from my friends, Darian. What are you doing? Sam, what's your second one?
From that, I gotta. Alex was talking YouTube, so I gotta throw a YouTube suggestion out there, and with that, go check out Joe Cocker's performance, his whole performance, but that song of him live at Woodstock in 1969, and he is just on obviously the largest amount of LSD possible, and you just see the clouds behind him, and he's just and like there's videos on YouTube of that. I don't know who did it or whatever, but kids have rewritten the lyrics that he's singing, and they're not the words to the song because his mouth and the way he's singing it doesn't sound like the words, but they've just written out the lyrics so you can sing these off lyrics with him, and it's fucking hilarious. But on that point, I'm going to go with the Woodstock theme, and another one of my favorite covers of all time is Jimi Hendrix playing All Along the Watchtower, originally played by Bob Dylan.
That is
two very different versions, but like Jimi Hendrix took that, and then Bob Dylan was like, "Yeah, I don't need to play that anymore. That's Jimmy's song now."
Yeah,
And
no, that's it's like the Johnny Cash playing "Hurt," where everyone's like, "Oh, Nine Inch Nails covered that song." It's like,
no.
you would
he
think
took
that
and ran, man.
that's not
Yeah.
the case.
But yeah, I mean, same thing. Like, check out Jimmy playing that fucking song and that version. Like, also on Guitar Hero, that says "as made famous by Jimi Hendrix." No, that is a Bob
Well,
Dylan
no,
song.
I mean it did say "as
Did
made
get
famous by."
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it's
is
because nobody would know unless you look it up. Like, you don't think of Bob Dylan when you think of
Yeah,
All Along
you
the
think of Jimi
Watchtower. You
Hendrix.
think of Jimi Hendrix rocking out on some
And that
guitar,
is
and
a great
it's
cover
so
that was on my
yeah.
list, and I cut it because I'm like, there's got to be a high chance that someone else on this podcast picks that.
Well, I got to it first, Alex. So
Jesus Christ. You too? Oh my God.
we're getting
Alex.
feisty. What is your next one? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off feisty.
No, so the last one, getting in the third, this was the hardest one because once you pick the two, you're like, oh, I have this whole list and I need to pick just one more to like fill it. So I went with a cover that I'd actually discovered recently, by a song that a cover of a song that I really enjoy that I also only discovered probably in the last 5 years. It is Red Right Hand, by Nick
Yeah.
Cave and the Bad Seeds, but it is covered by the Arctic Monkeys.
Red Right Hand.
Yep, the Arctic
Red
Monkeys
Right
cover it,
Hand.
and they bring just a incredible energy and pacing to it, that is so distinct from the original that I think they both stand well on their own. And it's just, if you want to listen to the fucking incredible lyrics of that song that are super creepy, but you want it to be faster and more upbeat and just kind of get you kind of going, check out the Arctic Monkeys covering that song because they do a fucking incredible job.
Yeah, Arctic
And
Monkeys.
I love
whenever
I
they
love
do
the Nick
anything, it's
Cave
fucking
version.
great.
So I don't even know what the Arctic Monkeys version sounds like, but that sounds like a lot of fun because
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
love
check that
the
out.
original.
Hell yeah. My final one is the song Moon River. And it was covered by Frank Ocean. And this song's come out over the last couple years, and it's fucking incredible. If you're familiar with Frank Ocean, he kind of always does his own thing, and he kind of takes it in a different direction. It's always his. It would it kill him to add drums to a lot of his music? No, but I think he does good work without it. and you don't need.
I hope this gets back to him. I hope this gets back to him.
No. No matter what,
fuck
me
is
talking
this?
shit. I am still a fan, and here's the thing. His music works without it. I'm just talking shit. But there's literally there's one album where it's like there's no drums without. Like you listen throughout the whole album. You're like, not one snare. Not one snare was hit for this album, and it was still fucking fire. Anyway, the song Moon River, it's made famous by a number of people, but like Frank Sinatra did that shit. It was written by Henry Mancini, lyrics by Johnny Mercer. People, I don't know who the fuck they are, but good for them. Thank you for bringing that into the world. And it was made famous by Audrey Hepburn from the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. I didn't see that movie, but apparently she sang it in there. But fucking everyone sang this song. Frank Ocean came through and he's like he salt baited a little bit and it was fucking great.
Good way of putting that. But do check out Breakfast at Tiffany's. Brooke and I just watched it, and
right.
I mean, I had seen it prior, but it's a good movie. It holds
Audrey
up
Hepburn,
after
Audrey
70
Hepburn
years.
is absolutely wonderful. I appreciate her. Yeah, that's one of the fucking good ones. I really appreciate it. He kind of comes in high, and then you're like, where are you going with this, Frank? And then he just kind of comes in. It's like, oh, cool. So you're not gonna do the squeaky voice thing the whole song. Great. And very beautiful song, very beautiful cover. So, yeah, Sam.
I my
Sam.
my fi-
Sam.
what
Sam.
Do your song. Just do your song.
Hi guys. My final cover to make my top 3 list. It was my go-to cover song that I threw on most radio shows when I was DJing at KVSC in St. Cloud, over at St. Cloud State. So hometown radio station. I used to always play "Police and Thieves" by The Clash. and it is originally done by Junior Mervin. Like the Clash's version is semi ska-ish, I guess, because it's just got like the upstrokes and it's very like chill and you know, a little less upbeat from the Clash. But I mean, the Junior Mervin version, like most reggae out thing, it's such a good great song, and like the lyrical content, you know, it's just, you know, crimes happening and basically disputes between officers and, you know, the people that are committing crimes. So yeah, it's a I don't know. Check it out. Both. Yeah, weird way of putting it. I don't want to dive into the content of it, guys, because we could go down a big rat hole.
You didn't even try to. You just ruffled your way right through that one. Like you just like, it's like you're trying.
You saw what was approaching very quickly in your train of thought, and you, I think, did the best that you could to kind of just be like.
That's not the part that I want to focus on. You know? I'm just living on these songs, okay, guys? I definitely did dodge that one.
It was a dodge, but it was like you were inside of a buffet, and the entryway to the really shitty cheesecake is just a little bit too thin. And you're just like, excuse me, and you just rub your fucking hips all through the whole fucking thing just to get over to it. And you did really good. It was just
that
really
was
funny.
That was objectively a weird analogy, but
I know. It's me. I'm so sorry.
It happens to everyone, Alex. Okay.
It does.
Fuck. Anyway, so Sam, that was your last one?
Yeah. Do you want me to start out with
I want to let our guests do it.
Oh, okay. Alex.
So going.
Yeah, we're doing a couple honorable mentions, folks. Go ahead, Alex.
I kind of put a pin in a comment I made earlier about how there's some songs I think you just can't have a lot of liberties with without being completely dragged by the collective consciousness of the universe.
Yeah.
And one of those songs I think has made it there, and that is "Welcome to the Black Parade" by My Chemical Romance. And it is covered by another Australian artist that I learned of through this YouTube channel, but you can find it on Spotify. It is by Alex Leahy.
Yeah.
And it is I went into it thinking, oh, okay, person, like you're gonna cover "Welcome to the Black Parade." And I'm not a huge My Chemical Romance fan, but like you know "Welcome to the Black Parade." Like it's just like the anthem of our generation. Well, by our generation, I mean like I grew up in Cold Spring in a small town, so yeah, pretty small sample. But yeah, I think she does a really good job. There's a bunch of other people like backing her up and doing it, and it just has a lot of layers to it and just a really good energy, and you should check it out.
Hell yeah. I will interject about that song though. I saw there was a quick little 15-second Instagram thing, but somehow was like just like the bit was a way to piss off a bunch of goths at once, and it was the beginning of that song. It was like dun 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 dun, and then they hit the wrong key at the very end of it. and listen, I laughed so fucking hard because I was like, that would throw me off. I was like, in real life. So I was like, if I heard the song and then it happened, I just was just like, holy shit, that would totally just blow people's their expectations. They're like, oh, I love this song. If you fuck up that part, it is all down. It's all uphill from there. So,
yeah.
It's a Sophian fucking thing.
And to just round off this cover, to sum it up, there was a comment in this YouTube video of this cover that was just, this cover hit so hard it made MySpace a relevant platform again.
Nice.
And what's your second one, Alex? Your second honorable mention?
I thought we were gonna do a little round robin here because I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I'm
keep it quick. Keep it quick. Sam, he's diverting.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Go. Sam, you go.
Okay, so my two, I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself by the White Stripes, originally done by Dusty Springfield, and her version, like if you know the song I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself, those parts in Dusty Springfield, that's on horns, and Jack White does it on fucking like brutal like blues guitar. I just love the two differences between the two. And then my final one is a local artist out of Duluth, Minnesota, Mr. Charlie Parr,
Goddamn right.
covering Rocky Raccoon off of the White Album by the Beatles. It is they used to do a comp in Minnesota. Maybe they still do it, but it's everyone covering the Beatles, different local artists, and Charlie Parr. I think that's the best cover off of there. Also, A Night in the Box does a cover. I forget which one, but it's fucking tasty.
No, that's
but
a
your
fucking
turn,
dope
T.
song. No, that Rocky Raccoon covers the shit. Like, I didn't think that, because I'd heard that song fucking hundreds of times before, but when I heard that Charlie Parr version, it gave me pause. Like, I would stop what I was doing. I was like, the fuck. which is my response to a lot of things, even like good things. It's I don't just like, oh, that's nice. It's my initial reaction is like, who would fucking dare? And then he dared and he did, and it was fucking great.
Well, if you don't know Charlie Parr, like local or not, go check him out. He's like old school bluesy bluegrass with a slide guitar, and then there's a washboard on that song. So way different version of the Beatles off the White Album.
Anyway, yeah, man. My honorable mentions are we're also gonna bring fucking Pursuit of Happiness back into it, but by this, and I think this song has been on one of our top 5 somethings before, but the song Pursuit of Happiness by Lissy. She did that song and it was fucking incredible.
Yes, you actually had me listen to that before, and that cover also fucking absolutely kills.
Yeah, dude, it's the best, and I had the pleasure of being able to see her play it live, and it was fucking nice knife, buddy. That one, that song was also used it was sampled by Schoolboy Q for one of his songs. So it was like, it was like the original fucking slaps, the cover fucking slaps, and then the sample of the cover fucking slaps. And Schoolboy Q just does good work anyway. So, second one is the song Ziggy Stardust by Sia George. It's fucking just incredible song. It was off of that what's the submarine movie from Wes Anderson? Life Aquatic. All of those songs. He did a whole. He was the guy playing the guitar on there. Whenever there's like a little song break, that was him. But
for a second, I thought you said Wife Aquatic, and I was like, that'd be a way different movie. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, this wife is just trying to go out and kill this fucking shark that ate her husband. It's a different movie now. For some
Same
reason.
hat.
Same hat. Surprised the wife is played by Bill Murray.
It's just all Bill Murray. Every role is Bill Murray. That's gonna be Wes Anderson's final film. Is just going to be the title is just Bill Murray starring Bill Murray.
Yeah, in parentheses, Wife Aquatic. But yeah, so George he does a bunch of David Bowie covers that are all super acoustic, very very just I don't know, like he brought a different life to the songs that I wasn't expecting. He does a bunch of them, and I really appreciate that they exist, and that's a very beautiful song. Alex, what is your final song?
My final song is "I'm Going Down" by Dessa, which is a Bruce Springsteen cover.
Nice.
I didn't actually know that this was a cover initially the first few times I heard it. And it's just a delightful little song about, circling back to grief, about, this relationship that's just kind of slowly fizzling out before the main character's eyes. And Dessa is just one of my favorite artists, and I think she just does a really good job of just tugging at them heartstrings and making you kind of feel something while you're listening to it. So
yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, she's one of those artists that can go directly to my fucking heartstrings. Like if I'm looking for that melancholic, just kind of
she fucking nails it
every fucking time. Thing like it was right. Like she's a total fucking sweetheart. She's the nicest person in the world. Like I've just a genuinely kind person. And I was like, hey, that when I do get to see her, I'm kind of like, hey, it's good to see you. No, and we keep moving. But I'm also like, you also have made me feel things. I didn't know I could feel before. That I could feel before. It's like I was so. So that's nice. Fuck yeah. That's
I'm just gonna cheat a little bit because I do just want to shout out.
He's fucking pulling audible. Dude,
it's our friend Corey Lawson, a member of the Trappistines, does an incredible cover of "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel.
Nice.
And I just wanted to put that out into the world because I think that came out in the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken, and it was an absolute fucking delight in a really dark time. Corey, I hope you listen to this podcast, and I just made your day. But it's
Awesome.
it's a really good fucking cover.
Yeah,
Check it
cool.
out by the
Cool.
Trappistines.
Fuck yeah, man.
Trappistines.
All right, word, man. Well, thank you. That was
Well,
fun.
this was a fun, like, easy podcast tonight. Like, we went like an hour and 20 minutes, and I don't know.
Only
time
like
went
18
past, so.
of that was about grief and really dark. But the rest of that was fucking.
Yeah, Sam, can
There
you
was
do me a favor?
there was a chicken. There
What's
were
up, D?
neighborhood cats. There was.
And then
I-
and then
that's
they
it,
talked
I-
about
yeah.
their feelings about the dark ones. You won't like it. Sam, all right, Sam, do me a favor. Do we're gonna put when you're editing this, send me the exact time frames from when we're starting grief to when we end grief. So you tell me on the front end. If you skip this part, you just won't bum yourself out.
I definitely,
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, like skip from this part.
Beautiful.
This part. We
The
talk
20
about
minutes in the
grief.
middle of the show.
And you're thinking like it'll be okay. It's like it probably won't. If anything, you should probably not be at work when you're talking about. I don't know. But yeah.
So can I?
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
finish it up. What were you
say,
about to say?
no, say what you were gonna say to Alex.
I was gonna thank Alex for being here and start reading us out, but I can.
Oh, I wanna do my circle breathing behind you while you're reading out, and I want to see
What?
if I can circle breathe until
Can you-
like the length that it takes you to read the outro. I want to go the entire time without stopping.
Okay,
I'm here for it. Maybe Sam will
all
pass
right,
out. That'd
Just
be
don't do
really-
it right in the microwave. Just do the thing.
No, I know. I'm doing it back here. I got my
Okay.
head back here.
Tight.
Okay.
Great.
Whenever. No, Alex, thank you so much for coming here. I'm gonna circle breathe now.
Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for joining us.
What a dick.
If you want to if you want to submit any questions or topics, head to bit.ly/FFW grab bag or contact us at foodforwormspodcast@gmail.com. For more existential humor, remember to rate and subscribe to Food for Worms on Podcast City, Spotify City, or wherever you listen to Podcast City. With that being said, really, sign up for those fucking push notifications so you know when we're fucking going. Just please, thank you. You could literally be anywhere, but you chose to be here with us. Alex, you could be anywhere, but you chose to be here with us, and thank you. Sorry, Sam. You did good, bud. But you can be. We appreciate you joining us. As always, check on your strong friends. Tell your people you love them, and remember that you can't take any of this shit with you. So don't be a fucking.
Don't be a
prick,
dick.
All right. Don't be a dick. This has been Food Forum. Sam.
Think
Alex, I
Ammo
love
started
you
a
both very
garbage can
much.
on fire.
Huh?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I love
Go
you,
take
Alex.
care
I
of
love
that.
you, D.
Love you, buddy.
Go put out the fire.
No,
Don't leave. Just
no, it's probably fine.
Okay.
start playing music now.
The Food for Worms podcast is a hella rad production.
It is recorded and mixed by Samuel Sarver.
Executive producers are Darian Washington and Samuel Sarver.
Theme music is Muffins by Dresden the Flamingo.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts and like, subscribe, and leave a review.
Because we need those reviews.
We do, and it helps people hear our stuff.
It pushes us right to the top. But on top of that, we also get that sweet ass validation. Sam, have you felt validated lately?
Sometimes.
I recently took up this new moniker. Play with me in this space.
What's your new moniker?
Validation Highlander. I used to be chopping fucking heads off, man. So stupid.
Fuck them bullies.
Fuck them bullies. You get it validated, and you get it validated.
And you, and you, and you.
Do you feel seen? Huh?
I'll cut your head off.
Oh my God.